we're going to have a look at how we can solve linear inequalities. This is very similar to the topic solving linear equations. However, instead of having an equal sign, we've got this inequality. You need to follow the same steps as if we had this equation here. So 3x plus 5 is equal to 16. If we were trying to solve this equation, we would subtract 5 from both sides, which would leave us with 3x is equal to 11. And then we would divide by 3 to get x is 11 over 3. The process is very similar with an inequality, but we always keep our inequality sign. So our first step is to subtract 5 from both sides. So 3x is greater than 11, and then divide by 3, just like we did when we solved that equation. This then tells you to find the smallest value of x. Well, we know that 11 over 3 is the same as 3.6 recurring, and it wants the smallest value of x, where x is an integer. So that means it has to be a whole number. So therefore x must have to equal to 4. That is the smallest number, which is bigger than this 3.6 recurring. Okay, pause the video now if you'd like to have a go at question 2 by yourself. Right, having a look at question 2, we first of all add 5 to both sides. That leaves us with 3x is smaller than 21, and then we divide by 3 to get what x is less than. 21 divided by 3 is 7, so therefore x is less than 7. I'm going to look at question 3. So this time you'll notice that you've got n's on both sides. So here, just like when you're solving linear equations with unknowns on both sides, you always subtract the smaller amount. So here we're going to subtract 11n from both sides. That leaves me with 3n is greater than 6. And now we divide both sides by 3. And we get n is greater than 2. So pause the video now if you'd like to have a go at this question by yourself. So in this question here, we start off by getting rid of the smaller amount of x. So we subtract 6x from both sides. That leaves you with 2x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 4. And now we can look at solving this. So we're going to add 3 to both sides, so we're just left with the 2x by itself. And then finally we're going to divide by the 2. Now here you can leave it as a fraction, but I know a lot of you like to change that into a decimal. So you'd get x is greater than or equal to 3.5. Okay, in our next question, it wants us to write down the integers that satisfy the inequality. So here we have got 3 is less than x plus 3, which is less than or equal to 7. So what we need to do is change this so that we've got x by itself in the middle. That means we need to subtract 3 from all 3 parts. 3 take away 3 is 0. X plus 3 take away 3 is just x. And that leaves us with 7 subtract 3, which is 4. It wants us to write down those integers which are satisfied by that. So x has to be greater than 0 and less than or equal to 4. So we get 4 answers there. In our second part, this time we need to get rid of the 3x, so we've just got x. That means we need to divide all 3 parts by 3. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. That's less than x, which is less than or equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Again, it wants us to write down all of the integers that satisfy this inequality. So x has to be bigger than 1, but less than or equal to 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are your solutions there. If you'd like to pause the video now and have a go at the question before I go through it. So having a look at this question, again, we know that 1 is less than x plus 3, which is less than or equal to 5. We want to get x by itself, so that means we need to subtract 3 from all 3 parts. 1 subtract 3 is negative 2, which is less than x, which is less than or equal to 5 subtract 3, which is 2. our next part, again we want to get x by itself, so we need to divide all three parts by 4 in this case. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2, which is less than x, which is less than or equal to 4 divided by 4, which is 1. So to finish our question off, we've got x is equal to negative 1, 0, 1 and 2. And below we've got x is equal to negative 1, 0 and 1. They are all the integer values which satisfy that inequality. If you'd like to have a go at this question by yourself, pause the video now. Right, so having a look at this question here, we want to get the 3x by itself to begin with. That means we need to add 7 to all three parts. Negative 4 plus 7 is 3. 5 plus 7 is 12. And now we've got to get rid of the 3 in front of the x. And we want x by itself. That means we want to divide all three parts by 3. That leaves us with x is greater than 1, less than or equal to 4. Again, it wants the integers which satisfy the inequality, so we can write down our answers. We've got 2, 3 and 4. We can include the 4 because it's got the equals to